Welcome in to Gapper's Cave. I'm your host, Lorenzo da Costa. This is Free Picks on Gapper's Cave, brought to you by Intellect Sports. We got college week 11 and NFL week 10 best bets. Man, are we cruising along? And the college season's almost over. Shit. It is. Man, but we're moving along, staying steady. We got some good ones for you this week. We have the one, the only Locksmith Larry, or Larry the Locksmith, whichever you prefer, our SEC connoisseur. Good day, sir. Yeah, man, I'm here, doing good. Good, I bet you are. Dogs, again, still at the number one seeding. And I think they got a tough test this week. Don't you? I think you guys do. I probably say that every week just to mess with you, but you guys got a good test.
Yeah, man, and I may have a bet on it. We'll see.
Wow, so you're gonna go to the SEC, huh? Daddy like. I'm excited to hear you haven't had many bets this year on it, so we'll see what you have. You usually give us one there and one in the NFL. Lots going on, lots of moving parts, lots of action. We've got it all. So, so much shit going on in the wacky, weird-ass fucking week in the NFL. Can we not say that? I mean, this is usually normal, and it happens every year. But I don't think to this extent in a one-week kind of basis, right? So let's see if it sticks and it plays to our bets. We shall see if there's any good angles. Let's jump right into the news, notes, and complaints. Bills are fresh off 42-3 drubbing of the Jacksonville Jaguars last week. Yep, that happened. That did happen. I knew you might hit that button.
Man, is that what you're telling yourself, man?
Yep, that's what the storyline should have been, right? It should have been that. We do have a play on this game, in the Bills game, in the Jets. But before we get into analysis of this game, can someone please explain to me how the Jets look better with Mike White and Josh Johnson under center the last 2 weeks, and how the Bills look so bad against the Jags? I mean, really, explaining Buffalo's loss is actually not that difficult. I mean, Allen he fell flat on his face, and the other Allen was a lot better. I mean, it was just a horrible game to watch. A bunch of field goals. I mean, their defense played good. I mean, we could say that was Allen's probably worst game, probably of his entire football career. And they almost won. But again, I'm not going to talk about. I'm still trying to block that one out of my head. So, as for New York, though, Zach Wilson, I think he needs to come back healthy now, and he has to perform. I think before he wasn't under a lot of pressure. But now he's got to perform because White and Johnson they've looked a lot better as a whole than Wilson has all year. I mean, yes, Wilson has the physical tools, the wow moments. I mean, thanks to his arm and his athleticism. But from a purely kind of running the offense perspective, Wilson, he struggled this year. Not to give you the bet right now. But I think the Bills are going to use old Steve Stone Cold Austin. Remember that guy? If you do, he had the move, the stunner, or maybe an RKO, or a tombstone fucking pile driver. Yeah, I think the Bills are going to insert the WWE in a finishing move on the Jets this week. Am I getting too high on myself? Is this like an angry thing? I don't know. Bias? I don't know. The over's sitting at 48.5. I think they might reach that themselves, pending weather. Because it looks like there could be some possible weather. But they could still get there. But again, what a lopsided week in the NFL. Usually, again, it's usually one or two games you can use that old cliche of any given Sunday. But damn, some shit went down. Dallas almost getting skunked. I mean, they were skunked most of the game. Some garbage TDs made it look a little better. I mean, the Ravens last night losing to fucking Brissett in Miami. What the fuck is going on? Arizona with Colt McCoy. I love this guy. We got to play on him. We may have another bet for the old Longhorn this week. But we'll see if he's in. Not sure. They don't have a tough contender with Carolina coming up. I mean, KC with a win, but just looking shitty against a Rodgerless Packers. I mean, that game probably would have been 40 to 13 if A-Rod plays. Right?
Yeah, man, I'm not sure what to think after last week and these Chiefs, man. I mean, we keep thinking every week that he's going to come out to play and get that old offense back that's just unstoppable. But, man, they ain't looking special at all, man.
No, ugly. And I mean, has everybody figured out Patty Mahomes at this point? I don't know. It's looking like it. But who knows? Come playoffs. If they make the playoffs. AFC is like, I think it's all up in the air at this point. All up in the air. Now with the Ravens losing, I mean, you got Tennessee, and that's it, sitting at the top with 2 losses. After that, it's fucking open. Anybody can win the Super Bowl, I think. Anybody can get to the Super Bowl. Not win it, but get to it, it seems like. Wow, Cam back to the Panthers. Wow, I mean, I think we all assumed this. Kind of. It was probably the best fit. I think it's a great, and we may have a play on the Panthers game. And does Cam play into this line without even playing? Maybe. OBJ to the Rams. You've all heard. They won't stop talking about. Who gives a flying fuck? Way to go, LA. Put this guy in fucking Hollywood just to feed his ego even more. Just wait. Your locker room will be filled with joy this season.
And just watch, man. This guy's going to be deadly. They're going to have a deadly receiving corps, man. And he may not get much, but I think he just opens them up even more and makes that offense just that more explosive.
Yes, I know. You're probably right. I just don't like to see it. It's like these super teams people trying to make. It's kind of like the LBJ move. OBJ's trying to be like LBJ, LeBron. But a little bit different because LBJ won championships when he did it. OBJ hasn't. He tried to do it with Cleveland. It was, they were trying to create a super team there. They brought in all these big names. Still didn't do it. And he didn't really contribute. Now he's going to try to do it in LA. Well, be careful, LA. Be careful. All right, let's move on to college football. Lots of moving parts here again. Bucks get in the 4th spot. Michigan State out. In fact, they put Michigan ahead of Michigan State. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with the committee. I really don't. I don't. You just had a state team beat Michigan, and now you're going to drop them because of one bad loss. Since he's still out. I mean, what do we say? You just can't keep that shit close with shit teams. Sorry, there's no saving their year now. Really, I don't think they even have the teams left to give them, even if they beat the last 2 teams by the blowouts by 50 plus points. I don't think they're getting in, and that's sad. That's what I don't like about the committee. But also, this is the biggest point that you can make towards, I'm sure you could in the past, but towards having at least an 8 or 10 team or 7 team. Just do something more so teams like this can get in and have a chance. This is bullshit. Absolutely. And look what they're doing with the SEC teams. No offense. Just what they do to try to get them in. They give Alabama a nice cushion. They do. They move them up, give them a nice cushion just in case they lose the SEC game to Georgia. Or I'm sorry, the championship. That way they don't fall back too far. They're always setting it up. Always. Oh wait, if things ended today, how there, Locksmith? The Bucks would play the Dogs, They would play.
Yeah, man, you guys gonna get spanked around.
Well, we'll see. I mean, these are completely contrasting teams, right? I mean, you got Georgia, number 1 defense, horrible offense. Bucks, number 1 offense, horrible defense. I think that would be a fun one to watch. I would be okay with that.
Man, our O ain't that bad, man.
Yes, it is. It's like It's like 50th in total yards. You never see that from a number one team. Never. Not in the college football era. You don't not even the last 10 years. You don't see that.
Yeah, man, because down in Georgia, we're changing that recipe, man. We ain't frying shit in 5 minutes. We slow cooking down here, man.
That's a great analogy, but very well. I mean, but fried anything is always better than a damn slow cooker, isn't it? I mean, we're going to come at you. We're going to come at you heavy and hard. I'm telling you, we are.
That sounds a bit sexual, man. I don't know, man, what you got doing up there in Ohio, but, man, that sounds a bit.
Right. You did. It did. Yeah, enough before it gets ugly here. Let's just wait and see, because every week it seems to be something different. And, again, please, I know it's probably like 2023 when they can put in a new system. We shall see. I hope so. I just put in more teams. We bagged for the playoff. We got it. Let's bag a little harder for a larger playoff. Really. All right, without further ado, shall we get into our picks? Yes, we shall. We got a Friday night game for you. It is Friday. Sorry we come out a little bit late with this one, but either way, it's enough time to get your picks in. Wyoming Cowboys versus Boise State Broncos. Broncos minus 14, over under sitting at 48.5. This is your Friday, 9 o'clock. Quick look here says Boise at home. Take them. But as we dig in, I think we feel this is too big of a number against these Cowboys. Yes, they've been poor ATS on the year, but they have strong numbers against Boise State. They've covered the last 5 of 6 against the Broncos with one SU win. 3 of the last 5 games between these teams have been decided by one possession. So you could say this is turning into a more competitive matchup on a regular basis. And they keep it close. I mean, this isn't the Boise of old. Still solid, but they've been trending down since the days of Kellen Moore. Which, again, he seems to be making a name for himself in the NFL, right? Coaching, that is. I think he's soon to be an NFL coach. If, maybe in Dallas. If they keep fucking up. I mean, Wyoming Cowboys, they picked up a crucial victory. Now they have some bowl hopes, we can say. And they reclaim that what they call the bronze boot with a 31-17 home win over Colorado State. The win also snapped a 4-game losing streak, as Wyoming has posted a season-best 477 yards of total offense, 385 on the ground. Boise also off a nice win. I think this is more of a letdown, as they just dismantled ranked Fresno State. Listen, both teams here prefer to run the ball, but the Broncos' offensive strength is the passing game. And they're going to be facing a Wyoming defense that is first in their conference and fourth in the nation, only allowing 155.7 passing yards per game. That's pretty good. So this just has the makings of a hard-fought, grind-out type of affair, which I think leads us to believe that this is going to be a closer game. Boise ranks close to 100 in rush D. Wyoming will definitely exploit. But don't get your panties in a bunch when I say exploit. I mean enough to keep this game as close as possible. I mean, Boise owns them in the SU market. 14-1. So if you want a safe bet, yeah, take Boise State money line, but it's not going to pay out too well, and that's fine. That's a safe bet if you want to play that. I mean, if you think about it, even the stock market, whatever the odds are on that money line bet, I'm sure it's close to 1,000. Still a solid play, if you're putting a couple G's on it. It's not horrible. But hey, we like the money, so we're going to take money line Wyoming. No, we're not. We're going to take the 14 points. Lock it up. Moving on. Rutgers going into Indiana. I know. Not, again, the quality of our picks, but whatever. I don't care. The quality is in it, in it. It's in the picks, not the quality of the game that you're watching. Okay? That's what we're going for. Indiana, minus 6.5. This is Saturday at 12 p.m. I think this is just too many points for two shit teams that play like shit. Produce the same shittiness every week. Both have QB issues. But the key factor here is a motivational one. After Indiana got crushed by Michigan, has pretty much completely eliminated them from a bowl game. Rutgers, on the other hand, is sitting at 4-5 and has plenty to play for. Indiana defense is, I think, they've just gone bye-bye, as well as the offense once Penix went out. And it's their last in Big Ten in scoring defense, while allowing 400 yards or more in the last 5 of the 6 games. Now, I know Rutgers. They don't do anything well offensively, but if it can win the turnover battle, control the field of possession, and run for maybe 150 yards or more, I think it should be able to slip by in this one. If not, cover the points. For me, this is easy. State of mind play, and we get almost a TD, which I'm going to buy up a half a point. I'll bite it to minus 140. I don't give a shit. Scarlet Knights are 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games after accumulating less than 100 yards rushing in the previous game. Scarlet Knights are 6-0 ATS in the last 6 games after accumulating less than 275 yards in their previous game. So kind of something one there, just a couple extra yards. They're 6-0 in their last 6 games as a road underdog. 8-1 ATS in their last 9 road games. 7-2 in their last 9 games following an ATS loss. The Hoosiers, on the other hand, are 1-6 ATS in their last 7 games overall. They're 1-5 in their last 6 games following a straight-up loss of more than 20 points. And the last but not least, they're 1-5 ATS in their last 6 conference games. So no bueno. Muy bien for Scarlet. I should stop with my Spanish right now. The trend says it. Emotional angle says it. We say it. Take the fucking points. Maybe a lean on the under here, too, with these two asinine offenses. Or a tease on both numbers. That's a solid play right there. That is. I do like that. So lock it up. That's Rutgers plus 6.5. Actually, we're taking it at 7, so we can say that. Next up, East Carolina Pirates versus Memphis. Again, I know we'll have a couple of big name games for you here, but you know what? Fuck it. You know, you don't have to watch the game. You just check your book later. Look at the money. Anyways, Memphis minus 5. Over under sitting at 58.5. This is another 12 o'clock on Saturday. A pair of teams sitting at 5-4, looking to go bowling in this one. Yes, I know. Again, this is not attractive, but we like what we like, and we like money more. This ECU team, we've rode them pretty well all year. And again, it's just one of those teams we like to pick, whether it's for or against. We know, but mainly for this year, as they're 6-2 ATS on the year and riding a 5-0 ATS streak. Actually, 6 of the last 7 they've covered. And also 5-2 SU. The only losses, listen to this, the only losses are coming at Houston in overtime and at UCF by 4. So we can say this is a very competitive team. Just demolished Temple 45-3. I think they're really starting to click on offense here. So strength of schedule favors ECU as Memphis only one nice win, Mississippi State early in the year. And they haven't had the quality since, and they've been losing. I mean, they're passing, yes. They have nice numbers. But the run game has diminished, and they've lost 2 starters on the season in the backfield. I think this just puts more pressure on the pass on a team that likes to turn the ball over. As the Tigers, they sit at the bottom of the tier in the FBS in turnovers. Like bottom. I'm talking fucking bottom. Well, I'm not talking fucking bottom. Like almost to the bottom. That's where they sit. That's horrible. ECU leads the all-time series 15-8, and you know ECU hasn't gone bowling since 2014. And this new coach, well, not new coach, third-year tenure, but I think Mike Houston. And I think he would just love to make a splash in this game. This is the time to do it. I mean, this team hasn't gotten over 5 wins since then, since 2014. I think you look for a motivated coach, and that's going to rally his team. As they have Navy and Cincy left. So they got to do it here. More than likely, they're not going to get Cincy. Well, I guess the way Cincy's playing against these teams, they could keep it close. Who knows? They're keeping it close with shit teams, so who knows? Memphis 2-4 ATS in the last 6 games, 3-11 ATS in the last 14 games, following a straight up win. The Pirates, on the other hand, are 7-0 ATS in their last 7, conference games, 7-1 ATS in their last 8 road games versus a team with a winning home record. Finally, they're 8-2 ATS in their last 10 games as a road underdog. Take the nice points. 5. The Pirates. Moving on. Here we go. Finally got a good one for you. Notre Dame versus Virginia Cavaliers. Cavaliers they're getting 5.5 points at home, over under at 64.5. There's no love for Notre Dame here. After their championships, their hopes, everybody thought they were drained out. But they lost the number 4. Whatever they were at the time, Cincinnati. That was their only loss to Cincinnati. Fine by me. Don't pay any attention here. And this is a great setup and a great number for Notre Dame. Virginia has been riddled with injuries and just got shellacked for 66 points by BYU. I don't think they've really faced anyone special this year. UNC, but they got smacked around by them. Wake, not bad. But yeah, they got beat up again by them. Listen, we like this Cav team. We bet on them before. Their stock has been rising, SU and ATS, but I think we need to fade here. They don't have the defense or the offense to contend with Notre Dame, who still has high hopes as they've covered the last 6 or 7. They're not letting up. And the one, again, ATS loss was their one SU loss to Cincy. And I think the resume is stellar. They beat USC, UNC, Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech at Wisconsin. I think that's a solid resume. I mean, probably not solid enough to get in if they need some other shit to happen, I'm sure, over the next couple of weeks. But they still have a shot, especially if they dominate another away game here. Now, I know we can't go through this bet without talking about the passing attack of the Cavaliers. One of the best in the nation. Dude, Armstrong, no pun intended there. He's strong. Strong like bull. But dude has most yards in football. The offense is number 1 in yards. But, in a big but, I cannot lie, he has a rib injury and is questionable. It's hard to pass a lot with a bruised or broken ribs. But even if he plays, we still like it, as he hasn't faced a top 50 defense all year. And if he doesn't go, well, this is an easy, and the price is going to shoot up, though. So, because the offense, it just runs through him. So buy now, before the news. Notre Dame is 7-0 straight up in its last 7 road games. Notre Dame is 4-1 ATS in the last 5 games against the Coastal Division. Lock it up, Larry.
Yeah, man, I can see that boy going to the NFL, man, that Armstrong dude, man. If you watch that boy, man, he's pretty sick out there on the field.
Yeah, he is. I mean, nobody's really paying attention for the Cavaliers. But they've been, I want to see them play a decent team, but I just don't think they have it here. They're not going to have it. The offense will probably show up, no doubt, but this is, again, it's going to be one of the best defenses they faced against probably one of the best offenses they faced. Well, no, they did play UNC, but, we could say UNC's been shaky all year. So, I don't know. And then, but the two, like I said, the 2 teams that they faced that had great offenses, Wake and UNC, they got demolished. So, anyways, I believe it's time for your pick. You got something for us? You got a SEC? Or what are you doing here?
Well, man, I'm going, I'm going to call this one SEC Pick 3 Tease, please. Yeah, man, pass the tease, please.
No. We let you roll one out last week, a teaser, and what happened? Huh? What happened to that?
What, man?
I think you lost all 3 of tease. That's bad, Mrs. Tease.
No, man, I lost 2, and I apologize, but this is a good one, man. I'm telling you.
All right. Well, one more week of this tease shit. You better win it. So you haven't done much with the SEC. So now you got 3 all of a sudden. Better be some good shit there, Locksmith. Better be some good shit. All right, man.
I call this one the Alabama Slammer. New Mexico State at Alabama. Alabama minus 51, man. That's a damn big number. Ain't no damn reason Bama and their backups can't beat these border boys by 44 points, man. New Mexico, man, they give up 30 points a game, and that's against poor-ass teams. And Bama just put up 43. They average 43 a game against good teams, man. I think it's a nice game to get the backups in, but that's a good thing. Man, don't think about the backups as a bad thing. It's a good thing. First, they have talent. We all know that, man. Bama's got talent fucking everywhere. Sitting all over that fucking town, man. They just got it. They pick them off the damn street, man. These boys just play. But when you let the backups in, man, they like to prove themselves. I think that spells an Aggie's ass whooping, man. And that's it for that one. So I'm going to take it. Yeah, man, I'm going to take you tease it down to, what I say, you get it down by 44 points, man. Yep, right there. That sounds pretty nice to me. My next one, man, this one's called No Bowl, Just Dog Shit. It ain't bullshit, just dog shit, man. Georgia Bulldogs, man. Yep, I'm doing it. Versus them Tennessee Volunteers, man. Tennessee getting 21 points. But you know what I'm going to do, man? It's weird. I know. I hate doing it. But I'm going to move it up to 28 points, man. And yes, I know, man, it's scary. This game has upset written all over it, man. And when I say upset, man, I mean ATS upset.
That's not how that's not how the upset, but just continue.
Anyhow, man, I know my Bulldogs, they're going to win. But I think there's just a lot of pressure here, man, against a team that's clicking on all cylinders offensively. And I don't believe my Dogs have played this caliber of offense yet. And now head into Knoxville, man, with that damn crowd to knock off the champs. Shit, man, it scares me a little bit. I won't deny that. But I think they keep it within 4 TDs, man. That ain't gonna be too tough to do there. I don't think it will be. We still gonna win.
I feel like you're just jinxing your team here, though, and an inevitable upset. In fact, I may just buy money line on Tennessee just because you bet. I might just do that. Nothing to lose here. I mean, they're gonna go bowling anyways with USA and Vandy left on the schedule. So yeah, you know what? I'm all out on this one. I'm all in on Tennessee on this one.
Oh shit, man. Maybe I did, man. Damn it. All right, next one, man. I'm gonna call this one Dining with Death. Okay, so that's a teaser, so you get it up to 28 points for Tennessee. So yeah, there you go, man. This is called Dining with Death, man. Arkansas going into Louisiana State, man. Louisiana getting 3 points, which now moves us to 10. So you know where I'm going with this one. I'm getting 10 points with the home dog. Arkansas, man, nice win last week to move into the number 25. And y'all know how we feel on this show when you get a newcomer to the top 25 and then have to go into a conference away game. You hear me? When you jump into the top 25 and then you have to go away and play in conference, man, it's no bueno, man. It never works out. LSU, we can say off to a nice win against Bama, right? I mean, yeah, they lost, but, they only lost by 6, and that's a damn win. I mean, the way they've been playing after Big Burrow left. I mean, this team, they fare well at home, man. They knocked off Florida at home. They came close with Auburn, man. And now sitting at 4 wins, man. You get one here, then you're on to ULM. Well, damn, you should go bowling, man. I mean, and think about this, man. Arkansas, they got old Alabama up next. And you can be sure they'll be looking at that one, man. They'll be looking past Death Valley, and you know what about, man? You don't want to look past Death Valley, man, on Saturday night. That's something to be feared, man. Well, that's it, man. That's my SEC Pick 3 tease, please, man. And it's on the table, man. It's ready to eat.
That's good, man. That's good. Very good. I like it. We're going to take one more week of this tea shit. I mean, I do like teasers. Don't get me wrong. But if you're losing them, I don't want to put them on the show. So, but I like those. Those are good. You went against your team, stayed in the SEC. I'll lock it up. Very nice. Do we have any volume on that? I don't know if you do. Do something with the mic. There it is. Get shit working around here. All right, let's move on to the NFL. Carolina at Arizona. Arizona minus 10.5. What do you say we're going on this one? That's right. Yeah, Cam's back in town. Superman's back, but not for this one. It's too early and it, to get cleared and to game plan. We're not going to get into those. We know he's not playing. That's it. Now the reins are given to PJ Walker. Yeah, exactly. Who? They might as well just throw in the towel on this one and put in the second team. Or just if they could say, hey, listen, we're done. We don't want to play this one. We'll take the loss. And come back revamped and ready with Bam Bam, Cam next week. I just want to say, you don't see this shit too much in the NFL. Bye-bye. Oh, hello again. But I think it's probably the best spot for both teams. He needed to get away and let the new coach and team and owner, et cetera, take over the locker room. And now Cam has to come back and prove himself. I mean, either way, whatever happens, this should be a shellacking by Arizona, even if Murray is out. But pay attention, as this could, they could rest some players here. And we have to start thinking about this. It's the first year with the 17 weeks. I mean, you got Kurt, questionable, more questionable, Hopkins questionable. It's a big list here, especially receivers. But as well, Colts, McCoy's, he's a seasoned journeyman. I mean, watch the fuck out. He 22 for 26, 249 yards and a TD. And he straight handled a good defense in San Francisco. And the Arizona defense can keep it close with pretty much anyway. But the Panthers' O is anemic and probably won't change much in a week. I think the offensive coordinator and the offenses, they're preparing for Cam right now, which is the smart thing to do. Then you're going to be backed up on Cam next week. You don't want to do that. And now you just might as well just throw up prayers every play. No reason game planning. The smart thing to do, it is. Their plate is full this week. And you might want to take a rain check on Arizona and just go through the motions. I mean, you don't want to get McCaffrey hurt. Why don't you sit him? You sat him enough. Also, do note that 40% of the starting offensive line for Carolina is missing against an Arizona pass rush that has sacked the QB 5 times in last week's win over the Niners. On top of that, Carolina's offense has scored 1 TD in the last 36 fucking possessions. I mean, how do you fix 4.2 yards per play against the Patriots with 3 turnovers and 10 penalties in a week? Cam, yes, that's a tool to help fix, but not this week. And again, I honestly, I don't care who's playing in this one. I'd like the double digits. I'll take it and lock it up. This is one of the games I really like this week. I really like to watch. We got a couple plays on it. Daddy like. Cleveland at New England. New England minus 2.5. Over under sitting at 45.5. I think there's a lot to consider in this game with both teams possibly missing running backs. Nick Chubb, Demetric Felton, and John Kelly are all sitting on the reserve COVID-19 list after testing positive earlier this week. Considering Kareem Hunt is still sidelined with a calf injury, the Browns' backfield could just be D'Ernest Johnson and some other practice squad backs, but it didn't seem to bother him the last couple weeks. And now the Patriots are looking at both Damian Harris and Stevenson not playing, as both have not practiced since covering their suffering from concussions in the fourth quarter of New England's Week 9 win over Carolina. Cleveland, it's better. I think they're just better equipped to handle losing lead running backs. They're still the number one rushing team in the league. And Johnson went off for 146 yards, 22 carries against Denver 3 weeks ago. While the next man up for New England, if Harris and Stevenson can't go, is Brandon Bolden, who he's only had 100 yards on the season. Yes, the Pats, and just look, I know everybody's talking Pats. They played well. Some could say over their expectations. Some can say up to it with Belichick and what they've expected. But let's dig in a little deeper. Patriots defense has given up at least 22 points in 4 of their last 7 games, with the 3 exceptions of being last week's against Carolina. Sam Darnold is very bad. Week 7 against the Jets, Zach Wilson might be worse. And Week 4 versus Tampa, heavy rains that really kind of depressed the scoring. And New England still gave up nearly 400 yards of offense. New England has also given up at least 120 rushing yards in 5 games this season, with 3 of those from sub-100 performances being the Jets, Dolphins, and Texans, who all rank, get this, 32nd, 30th, and 29th in rushing, and they still gave up a big number. And the fourth being last week, where the game script pretty much ruled out running for the Panthers quickly. They were playing catch-up and having to pass. And yet they still, just basically what we're trying to say, this past defense has done a good job of feasting on bad offenses. Yeah, and the offense just on the other side has exploited some bad defenses. 3 of the last 5 opponents have been among the worst 9 defenses in expected points on the season. That's its 21st in EPA per play on the season. Cleveland's defense, on the other hand, has given up 16 points or fewer in 5 of its last 7 games, with back-to-back shredding from the Chargers and Cardinals, that being the outliers. Sitting second in the NFL in QB pressure percentage, even despite a low blitz rate. And goes against a Patriots team that's in the middle of pack, probably in pass protection. Listen, the Browns have a more talented defense, and now they've kind of revitalized with the OBJ free offense, and now they can match up well against New England. Even if Chubb doesn't play, I think it's hard for us not to take Cleveland getting points. And if he does, well, I mean, that's even better. But let's move on to the under here, too. We like. Over the last 6 weeks, the Patriots have given up 369 yards per game, but have been buoyed by a defense that tightens up as the teams get in the danger areas. So it's a good thing. I know we talk shit about them, they've had to play, they play good defense, but it's been against shitty teams, shitty offenses, and vice versa. But they've done well in the red zone, giving up 6 fewest red zone touchdowns and a red zone TD percentage of just 52%, 8th best in the NFL. And have a 16.3% of all opponent drives end in turnovers. 4th highest in the league. So that's, 16% of their drives, their opponents' drives. Now, Browns offense, again, to point at that, have found the pay dirt in the red zone, going for 6 points on just 54.8% of their trips. Tied for 9th with the Pats. But they do tend to put these long drives together. Again, but they just can't put it in at good numbers. Owning the league's highest average drive length and having fewer than 9% of the drives end in a turnover. So that's good too, but all it says time-consuming. So long drives that results in field goals, that is not a recipe for games to go over. On New England's side, Ricky Mac Jones is not a deep threat guy, sitting 19th in yards per attempt and 25th in the air per completion. And will be again checking down he'll be checking down quite a bit with Cleveland's pressure. Again, not a recipe for games to go over. The line has actually moved towards the over, with the total ticking up a point from the opening. Well, that is fine. We're going to go against that action. The under is 8-3. New England's last 11 at Foxborough. Let's make it 9 of 12. Lock it up. So we got 2 there. We like the Browns. We like the under. All right, the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. New Jersey Jets. Jets getting 12 points. Okay, again, this is a nice spot for the Bills here, with them supporting an 0-2-1 ATS record on the last 3. Does that mean the odds are a little shaky to back them now? Maybe. I think with Bills coming off the most lopsided game of the season, and what did it start at? A -15 spread to start the game, and then an outright win? I can't think of a... I just can't think of a better team to take your frustration out on. Besides the Jets suck.
Better watch your mouth, man. Better be careful.
I know, we just lost to the Jags. Thanks again, Locky. No, you're right. I shouldn't say that, as we know not of this Mike White guy. And they've been competitive in the last 2 games and they didn't even have him in the majority of the game last week. And Johnson, they still put up 30 points. Now, there were probably some garbage TDs, and they still lost by 15. Now, back to the point about the odds. They are back in them, yes. I said shaky earlier, but get this. Since the Josh Allen era, 4 or 6 games between these two have been decided by 1 possession, and they have split the ATS, and ATS margins have been low. What does that say? Well, the odds makers have been pegged, I think, these 2 teams, and I think this one will be close to the beginning line. So best option here would be to buy 2 or 3 points either way. But I'm laying the house with the Bills one, and they're going to come out stroking.
What's that, man?
Sorry, that probably sounded bad. They'll come out pounding some shitholes. I don't know.
Man, that don't sound good either.
No, but that doesn't, does it? That's a shit. Okay. They're going to win by a large margin. They've skunked 2 bottom feeders. No reason the number 1 D in all defensive categories can't do it again. Yeah, that's what I said. They are. Also, this Jets D is giving up over 400 yards per game. Worst in the NFL. Second to worst in the passing yards. They're in like the 30s in all the defensive categories. Should be a feast. A feast fit for King Allen. Let's just call it a pregame meal before Turkey Day. Why don't we? And lock it up. I know, I'm not going to give you the stats on this one. We're going for it. Locksmith, do you have something for us? You got an NFL pick for us?
Yeah, man, I'm going to go with the... I know it's kind of a weird game because we don't know who the hell's playing, but the Seahawks versus Green Bay Packers, man. Packers -3.5, over under 48.5. Now, again, I'm going to say it. Pending Rodgers COVID shit, I like these Hawks, man.
What did you just say? Did you say?
Yeah, man, I know. You do that stupid shit, man, that's fine. I think this just had the makings of being a big showdown in Lambeau. But it also could be Geno versus Jordan, man, and that would be a damn shame if that happens. But it doesn't look like it. Even if Rodgers gets to go, man, he's had no practice. Team's pissed at him for being a chauvinistic son of a bitch. And I just have a hard time believing he comes out to play and the Hawks, they're in redemption mode, sitting in the basement waiting for a win, man, and Russell looks good after surgery. Wilson was posting the best passer rating, 125.3 in the NFL when he suffered his injury, man. He's completed 73%, 7-0 TD interception ratio on the season. Man, since 2012, these Hawks are 22-11-2 ATS when listed as a road underdog, 16-9 straight up with the rest advantage when Wilson starts, man. Again, no play if no Wilson. But if they're both them, man, I'm still playing on them Hawks, man. I got it. 3.5, man. Getting 3.5, man.
All right, I like it. I know it's a tough play. I know a lot of people waiting and seeing what's going to happen. Who's going to play. But it sounds like Russell's cleared. Sounds like Rodgers could be cleared Saturday, but I don't know if he is the best option or not. I mean, I don't know. They're going to put him in if they can. And that should be a fun game. But yeah, I like the Hawks sticking close in this one. 3.5. I think that's too much. That's too much. All right, so that's about it. We got some betting nuggets and quick picks for you. So we're going to start in college as we usually do. Syracuse is going into Louisville minus 3.5. So we're going with Cuse. They're on a hot streak, 8-1 ATS on the season. And the one loss came week 2. So let's stay on that trend train. Let's do it. Miami at Florida State. We're taking the over 60.5. Ever since this Tyler Van Dyke has taken over the Miami Hurricanes, the offense has been on fire. They're scoring 34.4 points per game in 5 games. He's gone for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, 3 straight outings, including that tear at NC State, who is a top 10 scoring defense, too. So they're on fire. Florida State's starting to move a little bit more, so I like this rivalry being an exciting one. Over 60.5. All right, let's get to the NFL. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Trevor Lawrence. Listen, I know. You don't have to fucking say it. They beat the Bills, but he still looked horrible. He's completed 59% of his passes, 57 of his pass attempts in his last 2 games, and go up against another solid defense. Now you're going to see Marvin Jones and Chenault Jr. They're going to be lined up against Xavier Rhodes and Kenny Moore. They're going to have a problem. Furthermore, Indianapolis offense, I think they should thrive. They're in a groove, scoring at least 30 points in 4 consecutive games, including 30 in the win against the 49ers. Carson Wentz, man, he's turning it on. He's supporting an 8-2 TD to interception ratio in his last 3 games, and should thrive against the pass defense that ranks 26th in the NFL. Indy minus 10.5. Detroit Lions versus Pittsburgh.
It could be worse, though at least we're not Detroit. We're not Detroit.
No, but we're taking them. I think there's too many points for a team that may not have Ben or Harris. In fact, they're probably thinking, let's rest for this 17-week season. But don't sleep on these Lions. They're 4-4 ATS on the season, 5-0 ATS in their last 5 after an ATS loss. And Pitt just always plays down to the competition, and last week's shenanigans, they did not deserve that win. And the week before, a Bakerless Browns barely beating them. I mean, Pitt is just cruising down Lucky Street, and they're about to hit a reality wall. Or more like a mile fucking high building. I mean, one we all have to climb one day. Really, as strange as these games have been lately, watch out for an upset here. I mean, the Lions got to be hungry. All right, last one, we got a prop bet for you. Josh Allen. Over 284 yards. He averaged 309 passing yards a game with a 70.8 completion rate over the 2 meetings with New York last year. And the Jets now are even worse. They're ranked 30th in DVOA pass defense this season. This Robert Saleh's team, they're giving up the most points per game at 31.4, total yards per game at 40. We talked about this. And the Bills attempt the 3rd most passes in the league at 40.3 per game. So that's a prop for you. And we're out. So good luck this weekend. Lots of action. Come visit us again next week. I'm your host, Lorenzo de Costa. This is Free Picture Chick, and we are out.